Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Teresa Craftygrams. Today I started off with the idea of making things from 6x6 papers. When I got into my craft room to try them, I went a little off script. I have these oddly shaped papers I've had forever. I've probably had them forever because I don't really know what to do with them. They measure, you can't see the numbers on this ruler. Okay, they measure 4.5 by 7 from the top, but you see they've got the hang tag hole in them. So from that, it's about 6.5. So 4.5 by 6.5 of usable space. So yeah, and they're pretty stiff cardstock. So I said to myself, let's see what we can do that closely resembles the 6x6 makes, but that we can use this very oddly shaped paper to do. So today's ideas I got from several different videos, several different creators. I watched some 6x6 ideas from Paper Strawberries, from Treasure Books, and Paper Treasures. I'll link them all below, and I have no idea really which idea I used for which make today. So, but they are all very, very basic things we did back in the beginning that as we got more and more, I don't know, skilled or daring or whatever, we've just moved away from them, but they're perfectly good, useful items. And here I have 4 of them. This one is just a basic pocket, and I did not cut off the bit with the hang tag hole in it because it's not going to be seen, and it was useful to make that extra bit of space for this just very basic pocket, which I have not even glued down here. All right, let's do that real quick. So Miss Petunia has had a spa day today. I took the lid off, took the bits and pieces apart, washed everything thoroughly with warm water, and I topped it up, filled it up a little bit. So she is raring to go. Right, so that's the first thing we'll make. And then the next is, again, a basic folio made from this odd-sized paper. These are actually from the Pink Strawberries had, she took one piece of 6x6 paper and cut it down the middle to 3x6, and then cut a 3x6 into 3 2x3 sort of journal cards. So I did that for pocket stuffers there. Basic folio. That's that. And then this one, I think was intended to be used as a, to put 6x6 index cards in or something like that. But I thought I would make it a sort of an interactive fold-out text space, and I completely messed up when I was attaching the tags, so I'll hopefully do a little bit better on the one we make now, because these sides of the little folders are glued together, but this tab here was not supposed to be there. I think it was supposed to be there. So yeah, I'll work on it. So anyway, that's project number 3. And then project number 4 is just a basic matchbook fold little notepad. I have just some tea-dyed papers, and this is, packing paper that you put, you wrap your breakables up in. And I just added, this paper pad had a couple of cut-aparts of, well, I don't know if they're supposed to be cut apart or not, but that's what I did with them. And I used one as sort of a topper, but also to cover the tiny brads that I used to put the papers in there with. So anyway, without further ado, let's get making. Okay, so I have taken the liberty of selecting my papers for each of the projects. Excuse me, I had to get a drink. And also I punched out some whale tails instead of, I couldn't find any more in my stash that that would match the papers I chose for that project. So let's start at the beginning. Always a good place to start. So this is the one I'm just going to fold it into a basic pocket. And what I did was fold it right up to the edge of the hang tag, not measuring, not creasing, not, what do they call it, not scoring any of my folds. I'm just going for it. So this is the closest I'll get to scoring my papers. I'll fold this up along a straight edge so it doesn't bind up the end of that paper there, and just to save on some bulkiness. So there that goes. It's a little difficult with that in the middle, but we'll get there. Good old glue will hold it down. Okay, now before I glue, I will ink around the edges. And normally for a pocket, I would put a thumb notch in it, but since this is single-sided paper and it's just very white there, that's why I decided to go with these things. Tabs. They're tabs. Those things are called tabs. Yep. So yes, I decided to go with the tabs rather than put a thumb notch in it. And at the time I thought, oh, well, that's a lovely way to use up some of my hoarded tabs. But you see, I couldn't even stick to that rule either. I really do not follow directions well, even my own. But that's life. There, I am using one from, I have no idea where they came from, but they're printables and they're quite lovely. And I have been hoarding them. Why do I hoard printables? I have no clue. Not one at all. No idea. No. Couldn't tell you. So I'm going to fold that one and ink it properly. Now I will apply the glue. Glue, glue, glue. Right. And here we go. Try not to get the excess glue on the outside of the pocket. But, you know, it's going to happen anyway. Usually does. The best laid plans. Well, and then she's not going to lay flat. Maybe with a little convincing. There we are. And more glue. Okay, so I will now remember to glue the bottom shut so that things do not fall out the bottom of the pocket. Right. Once again, try not to get the excess glue on the project. Now I will put a little glue on my tab. It's called a tab. It's still called a tab. And you have to do it on both sides. Yes, yes you do. Both sides. Right. And I'm going to put it on the back. And I can't put things in the middle. I'm just not skilled that way. So I always try to make it look intentional by offsetting. Yep, that's the way that goes in my little world. bright, cute, just a nice, neat, very good sized pocket for all sorts. Okay, so that is project number 1, done and dusted. Project number 2, again, going back to the very basics of scrapbooking. I have a piece of paper, excuse me, let me retrieve what fell. Just this oddly sized paper. I am this time going to cut off the hole at the top so that it then becomes a 6.5 by 4.5 piece of paper, basically, because my little guillotine does not go past 6. So, like that. And very complicated. Fold it in half. In half. Like so. And I will go ahead and ink these. These will be the pockets. Oh, I will put some notches in these with my 1.5 inch. I do them together so they're the same. It's just a thing. It's just the thing I do. And get them as straight as you can. Come on, kid. Right. Good enough. Now, continue inking. That's that one. Round and round the pocket we go. And then I will glue these down. Being very brave here. Not using the glue book. But here we go. And I cut them a little short this way so that this edge doesn't hang over and this edge does not interfere with the fold. And that's just one of them things. One of the many things that I just do. In my head it makes sense, but other people just may not see the need. But you know, I am who I am. There we are. Got crumbs coming from my dauber. Really aggravating. Look at that. I completely missed half of that. Let's see what we can do here. That's not so bad. All right. Now I will round, I will round the corners. Probably should have done that before I added the pockets, but c'est la vie. It just takes a little bit of extra bit of oomph. Now I shall ink-a-dink-a-dink, all the way around. All the way around the front, the back, down the spine-ish, and then inside. On the other one, I use this Tim Holtz stencil, which I like because it's easy, the size is easy to use, rather than trying to wield one of those, or corral a normal size stencil. And also that I can use bits and pieces of it so that it doesn't look completely patterned. I mean, there's stuff on it, but it's not a pattern. Sorry about that. My phone is going crazy. And yeah, I did a little bit on the pockets as well, sort of overlapping. I did try on, since this is a small project, I did try to avoid the large openings. And there you have that. And I have just some of these laying around. I believe these are from 49. Hold on, let me look at her name. I don't remember. And I don't know why. 49 Dragonflies. Yes, 49 Dragonflies website. Again, they are printables, and I've been hoarding them. And hoarding printables is just kind of nonsensical, but here we are. I'm hoarding them. And now I am using them. So, be proud. Very, very proud of myself for that. Right. And I could decorate the front of it, but again, that will wait until I decide where I'm going to actually use it. It can be sort of customized for the journal that it's eventually going to go in. So now I'm going to use these 3 pieces of paper for, this is a bit too much gilding for my taste, but I'm going to cut the hole off of these as well. I wish I had you know, a file folder tab cutter thingy. I made that so plain. I know you all understand what I mean. Oy. Sorry, I have to turn this off. Sorry about that. Sorry. Why all day long I get nothing, and now when I try to record, everybody wants in on me. Right. So again, these are just going to be folded in half. Folded in half. I love the color of this, the duck egg blue. Oh, so pretty. Is it duck egg blue? Is that what it is? I don't know. Like turquoise. Something. It's pretty and I like it. That's what I know. And the rose gold. I do love rose gold. Okay. There's those 3. Now, I'm going to put this one at the front, I believe. And hopefully I will glue them together all properly and correctly and stuff. So those 2 are going to go together. Those 2 are going to go together. But let's do some inking and corner rounding first. We shall round the corners. Sorry, this is thrilling stuff to watch, I know. But it's, well, I was going to say it's necessary, but I mean, it's really not. Unless you're in my brain. In my brain, it's necessary. Therefore, I round the corners. I round the corners and I ink the edges. It is just a part. I'm probably not making any impact on that foil there, but I guess just going through the motions is going to make me feel better. Who knows? And I will do the bottoms just because I don't know how much they're going to show. Or the bottoms, the folds. And again, you could stencil or something inside these very white pages. But they're mostly, until I decide where they're going, I don't want to, like that's a decision I'll make at the point of actually using them in a journal. I don't know if they'll be used for, you know, tuck spots or journal space or whatever. If they're used for journal space, I will either stamp lines in them, or I will put some coffee dyed lined paper in there, something. And if they're going to be used for ephemera, I may just do a little bit of stenciling in them. I can do that once they're glued into, or glued to each other, I believe. So I wanted this to be the front, this to be the middle, and that to be that. It's going to be somehow attached to a journal page. Okay, so I'm going to, before I even put the tabs on, I'm going to go ahead and glue. Glue, glue, glue. I'm sorry if that's giving a glare, and boy, I hope it holds. We'll see. I shall check it. Obviously, before I put it in a journal, I will check to see if anything has come undone or is loose or has edges that need to be glued down. But I pretty much do that with all of my journals. All right, okay, so that's the middle. I've hidden the front. There we are. Back, middle, front. Like so. My hands were shaking incredibly earlier today, but apparently they've decided to behave a little bit. All right. Let me just give that a good smoosh. Okay. So my tab punch and I had a bit of a disagreement today. So I ended up having to do the first tab in 2 pieces, which frustrates me. It's hard enough for me to line up the ones that are folded correctly onto each other. But then when I have to do these 2 rogue pieces, doesn't seem like it should be a big thing. But, you know, little things become big things sometimes. So I'm going to put this one in the middle since it is made of different pattern paper. And I'm going to remember to put it here. And I'm just going to line these up. So I can see where the middle will be best located. And there's about right to my poor little eyeballs, even with glasses on. Just I knocked my glue stick over. She'll be all right. Oh, I knocked it over the other day into my ink pad. I had vintage photo glue for a little while. Here, stand up, darling. Let me put your hat on. There you go. Okay. Everybody hold your breath. Right, that looks good from there. And look at that. Not good from this side. Okay. So since this one is not attached at the top, I'll have to add a bit of glue there as well. Like so. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now, where's the front? Where am I? There we go. Gosh, that was a little confusing. Right. So this one, Well, let's ink it first. Ink it first, kid. And there we go. Let me go ahead and ink this one too before I forget to do it. All right. Did I do both sides of this one? Yeah. Okay. Now, a little bit of glue on each tail. And glue it down. And make sure it's the same height or close to that one. There we are. Lovely, lovely. Lovely, lovely. Right, okay, so that's those two, and this is going to be this one. And this is this, and that's, sorry, I don't even know what it's from, a show or a movie or something, and I keep saying it like that without even really knowing where it came from. So put that down. Don't stick to my finger, please. And use this one as the guide. Right. And glue it to the, don't glue the folder closed. All right. That is extra cute. It's amazing what happens when you do it right. Oh, except I didn't ink the inside of this at all. Easily remedied. And yeah, I should be able to easily stamp or stick something in these if they're going to be either text space or text space, journal space, or some kind of ephemera storage, like photos. You know, I'm working on all the old family pictures I've found. So I'm trying to put them all in one place using the ephemera that I am making. So, all right, where are we now? We are down to the last one. This is my little matchbook looking thing. Sorry, I'm just about out of water. I didn't check my supply. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use. I love the bicycle. So in this one, I think I didn't leave enough down here. I'm going to fold this one a little bit further away from the hang tag hole, so hopefully it'll close a little bit better. I didn't put that much in there, just the 4 pages, but then again, I also had to put some little brads in there to hold the pages in, because my tiny attacher doesn't reach that far. But anyway, oh, there's the, I assume it's a cut apart to be used like washi tape. So again, not measuring anything. I'm going to come a little further away, leave myself a bit larger tab down there at the bottom, and fold it up like so. It's going to cover some of the wheels, but I guess we'll be all right. That's a little, well, there was no way to avoid it. It was going to cover them anyway. Right. So now, time for the inking. So most of this video turned out to be not making things, but rather inking things. That's okay. It's okay. It's all part of the process, right? Well, I guess not for everybody. Not everybody inks, but I am an inker, as I think we have well established. So, round and round and round the paper. Sounds like my sponge is getting stuck on the edges or corners of the paper. Corners, they're called corners. I'll ink the fold, even though I assume it will be glued down I'll probably ink the back of it as well, because I don't know. I don't know. It could end up sitting in a pocket or some such. Okay, so there we go. Open that up. And my paper's here. Like I said, it's just tea-dyed copy paper. And this is, I don't know, some kind of packing paper. So what I'm doing is just putting these right below. Oh, and they're a bit too big. Let me cut them with the guillotine, because I just can't. There's no way I'd be able to cut all that straight on camera, especially. So we're just gonna lop off a little so we don't interfere with the folds. Probably put that nice clean edge at the top. Right, as I was saying, I just took my awl. I gave it my awl. Sorry. My awl, which is one of them's here, good enough. And just poked wee little holes. Let me get my glue book. My glue book also acts as my my sort of buffer between my awl and usually my cutting mat. This is another project I'm working on. Yeah, It's not a new background. It's just a work in progress. So yeah, just poking a couple of little holes, because my tiny things, what are they called? Brads. My tiny brads are very tiny, and any implement that I have that makes holes, hole punchers and stuff like that, the holes they make are too big for these tiny guys, and I really want to use them. So, of course, I have, these are the only two. Nope, they're not the same color either. Let's see. Let's try these two. I don't know why, because they're going to be covered up, but it's just the way it is. Here in the brain of Craftygrams, you have to come out even, I suppose. Right. Let's see if I can get these guys lined up again. Oh, Lord, where'd the other one go? Okay. Oh, no, I don't know. I can't see it. I know you probably see it and screaming at me. It's right there. It's right there. Well, my presbyopic eyes cannot see it, even with my magnifiers on. If it's there, I don't see it. All right, try again. Let's try again. See if I can find another one that matches that. Ish. It's sort of silvery rather than brassy. That'll do. Okay. Gosh. Making this a bigger job than it needs to be. Definitely making this look harder than it is. Of course, the one I did off camera was just lovely and behaved itself very well. It's something about when you turn that camera on, things go haywire. Okay. Now, I mean, I could leave it like that, but I just like I liked the finished look of the washi tape up there. And I really think I want to use none of them. I guess I could use that one. It's a bit thick. Here's what we're going to do. Oh, let me get the guillotine because there's no way I'm going to cut any of that straight. Oops. Sorry. Okay, we are going to cut this stripey bit. Just this little stripey bit. I don't even know if it's going to be wide enough to cover the brads, but let us see. Oops. Just barely. It'll work. And still they're too long down there. Rawr. Right. Very thin line of glue. Like so. Just like so. Right. Let's see if I can deal with that. Can I deal with that? No, I can't. Sorry. I just have to make it not bulky. I mean. I don't know why I'm this way, but I am this way. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. Much better. Much better. Much better. Yeah. Much better. Oops, sorry, that was loud. Okay, let's get these out and let's see what we've made today. Right, 4 projects that can be made with any size paper, basically. These just happen to be 4.5 by 6.5. They can be made equally as well with 6 by 6, which maybe I will get to the next attempt. But for now, 4 projects from oddly shaped papers. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.